Let's play Dune Imperium on Tabletop Simulator. This is the second video of this series, and we'll start on turn 4 of the playthrough. You can find a link to the first part in the description. The conflict card for this round is the Siege of Carthag, and it will award the winner a victory point and control of the city of Carthag. The first player token passes on to Baron Harkonnen. For his turn, he will conspire with the Emperor to gain influence with him and a victory point. Then, he will receive 2 troops in his garrison. Duke Leto will jump onto the Hagga Basin, the only harvester spot that currently has bonus spice, and get 3 spice tokens. He has accumulated 5 spice. I reshuffle to draw the starting hand for the round. My plan for this round will be to try and win the battle and gain the victory point. Since I have plenty of water, I use the diplomacy card to move to the hardy warrior spot, paying 1 water token. I collect 2 troops and deploy them directly into the conflict zone. I also deploy the troop from my garrison. Visiting the Fremen improves my influence with that faction as well. The Baron wants to visit the Bene Gesserit Order to increase his influence with them. The Duke follows suit and visits the other Bene Gesserit location, also gaining influence with them. For my turn, I would really like to play the Guild Administrator to make use of his ability to trash a card. I use him to move my agent to the fold space location. This will give me an influence with the guild and a fold space card to use in a later turn. I trash the Dune the Desert Planet card. The Baron uses his last agent to visit Arrakeen. He places 1 troop from his supply into the conflict area and 2 more from his garrison to match my strength. Then he uses his Scheme ability to spend 1 Solari to buy an intrigue card. He has no Solaris left, so he forgoes his special ability. Not wanting to lag behind in the conflict, the Duke sends his last agent to the Highliner spot. This enables him to drop 3 troops directly into the conflict from supply. He also gains enough influence to form an alliance with the guild, giving him another point. Not having much to do for my last turn, I will secure a contract with Choam to gain 3 Solari. Now I reveal my hand. I only have 1 sword symbol from my cards, which modifies my total strength to 7. My opponents both have a strength of 6. The Baron reveals first and adds 1 to his strength to match mine. The Duke gets an additional 5 swords for a total of 11, winning the conflict. He gets 1 victory point and control of Carthage. The Baron and I share the 3rd price since we tied, just 1 spice. I prepare the board for the 5th round. I forgot to roll to churn the Imperium deck. I roll, and the 4th and 5th cards are replaced. The Thufir Hawat card is one of my favorite, and it might work well with my strategy. I will try to acquire it later. I draw my 5 cards for the round. The first player token passes on to the Duke. The 5th conflict card is Siege of Arakeen, and similar to the previous card, it will give control of Arakeen and a victory point to the winner. The Duke wants to harvest spice, so he sends his agent to the Great Flat to collect a total of 4 spice. He uses 7 of his 9 available spice to get a victory point. The Duke is now comfortably ahead in points. I will use my Freeman camp to visit the Imperial Basin and collect 2 spice. One of these is immediately used by my character's addiction, and I draw a card. The Freeman camp also allows me to use 2 spice to recruit 3 troops. I place them directly into the conflict. Again, my strategy will be to try and win the conflict this round. The Baron moves his agent to the Stillsuits spot. He gains an influence with the Fremen and a victory point as a result. The Duke visits Carthage with his agent. Since the red player visited a combat space, I forgot to move 2 troops from his garrison to the conflict. Visiting Carthage gives the green player 1 troop, and he places it into the conflict. He has control of the city, so he also gains 1 Solari. I will use the signet ring to visit Arakeen with my 2nd agent. I place the new recruit into the conflict and I draw a card. I forgot to take the water from my ring's special ability. I will remember to take it in just a few moments. The Baron sends his agent to selective breeding, increasing his influence with the Order and a victory point. The Duke goes to the wealth spot, gaining 1 influence with the Emperor and a victory point to stay ahead. It would be a good idea to use my Seek Allies card this turn to get rid of it, but I am not sure what spot to visit. Here I take the water token provided by my ring. I decide to send my agent to the Hardy Warriors location. I pay 1 water. Then, from my supply, I add 1 troop to my garrison and deploy 1 troop to the conflict. I change my mind and decide to play it safe and deploy both to the conflict. I also gain influence with the Fremen and become allied to them, giving me a victory point. The Baron conspires with the Emperor, adding 2 troops to his garrison and an influence point. I reveal my hand. I have 5 persuasion, exactly enough to purchase through fear. I roll and replace the 3rd and 4th card. I have 12 strength plus 1 from my swords for a total of 13. The Baron has a strength of 4 and the Duke of 2. The Duke adds 1 to his strength for a total of 3. The Baron also adds 1 for a total of 5. I win first place, giving me control of Arakeen and a victory point. The Baron gets 4 Solari for second place. I clean up and prepare for the 6th round. I take the first player token and reveal the new conflict card. It will only award Solari to the winners. I draw 5 card to start the turn. I use my signet ring to harvest the Hagga Basin. This time I take the water first, so I don't forget. I collect 3 spice from the basin, but consume 1 because of my addiction to draw a card. The Baron visits the oratory spot, adding 1 troop to his garrison. The Duke rallies troops, adding 4 of them to his garrison. I want to use the full space card. After considering my options, I decide to visit the hardy warriors spot. I consume my water and add 2 troops to the conflict. I increase my influence even further with the freemen. The fold space card also allows me to draw another card. The Baron still doesn't find the conflict appealing and conspires again. He adds 2 troops to his garrison and forms an alliance with the Emperor to gain a victory point. The Duke visits Carthage. He gains 1 Solari and deploys 1 troop from supply into the conflict and 2 from the garrison. I decide to use the guild administrator to visit the Highliner spot. This costs me 6 spice and gives me 2 water and 5 troops from supply. I add 4 of the troops to my garrison and deploy 1 to the conflict. The administrator allows me to trash a card. I trash the dagger. Visiting the guild also gains me influence with them, enough to gain a victory point. The Baron uses his last agent to visit the Stillsuits spot. This increases his influence on the Fremen track. I forgot to deploy 2 troops for the Baron since this is a combat site. The Duke visits Arakeen. I control the location, so I get a Solari from the bank. The Duke then deploys 1 troop to the conflict from supply and 2 more from his garrison. His signet ability allows him to gain an influence with a faction by spending 1 spice. He increases the Freeman track to get a victory point. I reveal my hand. Thufir gets me 1 intrigue card. I draw Dispatch an Envoy. I have a total of 5 persuasion to spend. I decide to take the Smuggler's Thopter card for 4. I replace the 5th card in the Imperium row after rolling. I have a strength of 6 and the Duke 12. He adds 5 strength and convincingly wins the conflict. He gets 6 Solari, spending 7 to gain a victory point. I receive 4 Solari for second place. I clean up the board to prepare for the 7th round. I will end the second part of this series here. Thank you for watching. Leave a comment if you would like to share your thoughts on this playthrough. If you find a mistake, let me know, and I will make a note for it in the description. I'll see you on the next one. Special thanks to 11 Labs for providing this wonderful AI-generated narration voice. Check the link in the description for more information on their helpful tools.